Our next story is about two presidents and one tale of hypocrisy. I'm talking about Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Both have used their presidential powers this week to issue controversial pardons. In his first interview after taking office, Trump suggested that former President Joe Biden should be probed and even indicated that he should have pardoned himself on his way out of the White House. While he did not specify any particular offenses, Trump argued that Biden should face the same kind of legal scrutiny that he endured before being re-elected. And yes, the term pardon has surfaced quite a few times this week. First, just 15 minutes before leaving office, Biden granted a number of pardons, notably to family members such as his brothers, sisters and in-laws, as well as to members of his administration, including Dr. Anthony Fauci and General Mark Milley. These pardons were a part of a larger wave that Biden claimed were meant for non-violent federal offenders. The same day, Trump, in the first few hours of taking office, pardoned 1,550 people convicted for their involvement in the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol Hill. His move drew heavy criticism from Democrats as well as media outlets. They condemned Trump's mass clemency for the January 6 defendants, while largely overlooking former U.S. President Joe Biden's actions. The question being, what explains this hypocrisy? Haven't both presidents abused their presidential power to pardon? Then why is one labeled as bad while the other is treated as good? Haven't both Biden and Trump set a dangerous tone for future presidents? Well, let's take a step back and look back to the framing of the American Constitution. The framers had recognized that the power to pardon resembled more of a monarchical authority than that of a republic. They believed in a government of laws and not of men, as noted in the Massachusetts Constitution of 1780. Still, the tradition of royal pardons was deeply embedded in the American society, alongside the belief that even the most serious offenders deserve mercy at times. During the ratification process, the primary objection to the pardon power came from one George Mason. He argued that the president should not have the authority to grant pardons, as it could lead to self-serving decisions. Mason proposed that the presidential pardon power should not extend to treason and warned that it could allow a president to disrupt justice and potentially undermine the republic. Well, does that sound familiar to you? If it does and you're thinking of January 6th and its aftermath, well, you are not mistaken. Trump's act of pardon, while possibly fostering some degree of domestic unity, shows his personal self-interest. And the story is the same for Joe Biden. His pardons for family members, including his son Hunter, also comes from self-interest. Sure, one might argue, I would do the same for my family, but the reality is this: a president in a democratic country is expected to uphold a higher moral standard. The bottom line is, America finds itself with various pardons from both the sides. They're self-serving, something that the framers of the American Constitution wanted to avoid. Yet, here we are, both presidents have let down democracy and the people of America.